Hey, it's Thoughtful Tuesday, and today's thought for today: when God shows up, he shows out. We're going to go to the story of Elijah, for example, Elijah and the prophets of Baal. They had a bet about whose God was greater, right? And so there was a challenge in this bet, and basically they were going to build altars to their God, and whichever God showed up with fire to burn the offering was the one true God. So the prophets of Baal were building their altars, and then they started praying and calling out to their God. And they started in the evening because they had 24 hours to do this. And they cried out to their God until noon the next day. And then by then, Elijah is like, is he asleep? Maybe if you cry louder. Maybe, he just can't hear you. So maybe like louder. Do it louder. And then they start renting their clothes and then cutting themselves, and it gets nasty. Like, don't take all that. Right? Not for the true God anyway, which Elijah proves. So they do it until the time runs out. They are trying to call down their God, and he doesn't come. And so now it's Elijah's turn, and he's like, okay, 24 hours, right? He takes his time to just build his offering. But what he does when he builds his sacrifice, like he sets his stones, he does a certain number of stones for the tribes of Israel, and then he sets water all around his offering. And then he pours water on top of his offering. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Has them dump water on top of his offering. And fire and water usually don't mix. It might be a little hard for your offering to burn if there's water on top of it. However, he prays and God burns up everything. He burns up the rocks for his offering. He burns up the dust surrounding the offering. And the fire is so great that it consumes the water around the offering, including all of the water on it. There is nothing left. So, thought for today: when God shows up, he really shows out. Thanks for listening.